disappointment has now defined itself.
In the news, Buhari orders security chiefs to rescue abducted government science school Kagara students. New service chiefs reveal plans for armed forces after screening in Abuja. Across Africa, vaccinations begin in South Africa after the arrival of Johnson & Johnson vaccine. On the international scene, deaths mount, millions without power in Texas weather storm. And in business, UN to spend $15 million in Guinea and DRC. In sports, Lesotho resumes training for Super Eagles ahead of 2021 AFCON qualifier. Details shortly. Hello and welcome to TOS TV, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Osaze Isesele and this is TOS News 360. The Niger State Governor Alhaji Abubakar Sani Bello said no fewer than 27 students, 3 staff and 12 members of the family were abducted in the Wednesday morning attack on Government Science College Kagara in Rafi local government of Niger State. The Niger State Governor Alhaji Abubakar Sani Bello, who spoke to newsmen in Mina, said that the attack occurred at about 2 a.m. on Wednesday morning, adding that one student, Benjamin Doma, was shot dead in the attack. The governor subsequently ordered that all boarding schools in Rafi, Mariga, Muya, and Shiroro local government areas of the state be closed until further notice. He asked for immediate intervention from the federal government to rescue the students and other abducted persons from the hands of the bandits. President Muhammadu Buhari gave marching orders to security agencies to, as a matter of urgency, ensure the immediate and safe return of all those abducted by gunmen at the Government Science College, Kagara, Niger State. A statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Madam Garba Shehu, in Abuja, said, following these reports, the President has directed the armed forces and police to ensure the immediate and safe return of all the captives. The Senate has also called on President Muhammadu Buhari to declare a state of emergency over escalating insecurity across the nation. The lawmakers further called on the President-led administration to implement the various recommendations of the Senate on how to tackle insecurity. Still on matters of security, the newly appointed service chiefs on Wednesday outlined their programs for the Nigerian Armed Forces as they appeared before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee for screening in accordance with the provisions of the Armed Forces Act. The Chief of Defense Staff nominee, Major General Lucky Rabo, said if confirmed, his intention is to foster better armed forces that are capable of making effectively the imperatives of the Constitution. Chief of Army Staff nominee, Major General Tahiru, said he would be working towards a Nigerian army that is repositioned to professionally defeat adversaries, adding that his style will be an integrative approach that would involve every Nigerian in providing adequate security for the country. On his part, the Chief of Naval Staff nominee, Rear Admiral Al Gambo, called for loyalty, cooperation, commitment, knowledge and skills of all officers, ratings and civilian staff of the Nigerian Navy, saying his goal is to optimally harness this for the benefit of the service and the nation. And the Chief of Air Staff nominee, Air Vice Marshal Isiaka Amau, said his focus for the Air Force will be to enhance and sustain critical air power capability required in pursuit of national security imperatives. The World Igbo Congress WIC has asked the Southeast governors to establish an enforcement team that will help implement its ban on open grazing in the region. The Diaspora Igbo group also suggested that the governors could also transfer the enforcement contract to the Eastern Security Network ESN at no cost. Public Relations Officer of WIC, Basil Onwunkwe, said that there was no wrong way of doing the right things, noting that the Southeast must support ESN because volunteering to serve is an immeasurable gift to our nation and they must not be discredited or undermined by anyone. WIC applauded steps the governors took to ban open grazing in their states, stating that it was now time to match words with action by establishing an enforcement task force that will prosecute the open grazing offenders and declare the use of bushes for human habitation a crime. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You are watching TOS News 360. Up next, developments across Africa after the break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. South Africa on Wednesday began vaccinations for COVID-19 using the Johnson & Johnson jab, which got into the country on Tuesday. President Cyril Ramaphosa was one of the first to receive the vaccine. It was inoculated alongside health workers in Khayelitsha, Western Cape Province. He said the move is to demonstrate confidence and allay any fears about the vaccine. Inoculations began with medical workers. The South African Medical Association said the vaccine will be administered at 17 sites. Health Minister Zweli Kize and other healthcare workers were also vaccinated with first batch of 80,000 of the Johnson & Johnson doses, which arrived in the country on Tuesday evening. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is recommending an increase of nearly 3,700 soldiers and police to bolster the UN peacekeeping force in the Central African Republic, saying the conflict-torn country is at a critical juncture. The UN chief said in a report obtained Tuesday by the Associated Press that 2,750 military reinforcements and 940 additional police are needed to help the peacekeeping mission known as MINUSCA prevent further deterioration in the security situation while creating space for the political process to advance. Guterres said the additional capabilities that will be brought by the reinforcements are not a substitute for the national authorities' primary responsibility to advance the peace process and protect the population and are not intended as a means for a military solution to the present challenges. Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad, the first vice president of Tanzania's semi-autonomous islands of Zanzibar, has died at the age of 77, a few weeks after contracting coronavirus. He had been receiving treatment. The president has announced 7 days of national flags would fly at half-mast during the mourning period. Hussein Winyi said he is likely to be buried on Thursday. Ahmad was a giant figure in opposition politics in Zanzibar and Tanzania in general. He had joined the government of national unity in Zanzibar following last October's elections. He was the leader of the ACT Wazalendo party and was the most prominent official in Tanzania to openly declare that he had contracted COVID-19. The authorities have repeatedly declared that the East African nation is free from coronavirus or that the virus is under control and stopped publishing official COVID-19 data in June last year. This is the digital first Pan-African news network, TOS TV. You are watching TOS News 360. Up next is developments from the international scene after the break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. On the international scene, the United Nations has said it will raise the detention of Princess Latifa, the daughter of Dubai's ruler with the United Arab Emirates UAE. Princess Latifa has accused her father, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai and vice president of the UAE, of holding a hostage in Dubai since she tried to flee the city in 2018. In secretly recorded videos shared with the BBC, Princess Latifa said she feared for her life.
So I'm in a villa. I'm a hostage.
Big man,
this villa has been converted into a jail. All the windows are barred shut. I can't open any window. There's 5 policemen outside and 2 policewomen inside the house. And I can't even go outside to get any fresh air. No release date, and I don't know what my conditions will be like after I'm released. So basically I'm a hostage.
The footage prompted global calls for the UN to investigate the matter. The Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has now responded, suggesting it would question the UAE about Princess Latifah. The UK Foreign and Development Office said it was a concerning case, and although it was not directly involved, it would follow developments closely. A huge winter storm sweeping across the southern U.S. has killed at least 21 people and left millions without power. There have been widespread blackouts in Texas, where the energy grid was overwhelmed by a surge in demand. Millions of people in the state, which rarely sees such low temperature, have been struggling to cope with the lack of power and frigid conditions. The extreme weather is forecast to continue until the weekend. Deaths attributed to the storm have been recorded in Texas, Louisiana, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Missouri. The recorded deaths include people who have died in traffic accidents, as well as some who suffered carbon monoxide poisoning while trying to stay warm by running cars and generators indoors. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS TV. You are watching TOS News 360. Up next is business and sports. Welcome back. You're watching TOS TV News 360. Now in business, the United Nations plans to release $15 million from its emergency relief fund to help fight the new outbreaks of Ebola in Guinea and Congo, according to UN humanitarian chief Mark Lowcock. According to UN spokesman Stefan Dujarric, and I quote, "The funding will help both countries respond to the outbreak and support neighboring countries to prepare. Details of how the $15 million will be allocated will be made in the next few days as we receive more details about specific requirements and needs on the ground." End of quote. And in sports, in preparations for the match against Leon Stars of Sierra Leone and Nigeria's Super Eagles, government of Lesotho has approved Lesotho Football Association proposal to resume the national team's preparations for Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers 2021. According to the reports from the Office of Secretary General of LEFA, all invited players and officials are expected in camp Wednesday and will face COVID-19 tests, while training sessions will follow on Thursday. Lesotho will host Sierra Leone on March 22 and play last match of Group L against Nigeria away on March 30th, 2021. And that's it on TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African News Network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programming on TOS TV Network. I'm Osalze. It's excellent. Thanks for watching.